At first, open up Blender and delete the starting objects. Also, if you want this Blender file, this will be in the description. Using the Shift A menu, add text and other stuff you will use. You can then position the text and other main objects like I am doing here. Now we can start to edit the text by adding bevels and extrusion. Also, please like and subscribe, it helps out a lot. Thank you. Anyways, back to the video. I am currently finding what settings will work best for me. You can copy these or make your own. These will all be in the description anyways to make it easier for you. Now we are changing up the render settings. Make sure to use cycles and GPU compute. In Blender Preferences, make sure you select CUDA for only your GPU. Other modes may work better on newer GPUs. Make sure to check Transparent in the Film option. The rest of these settings are based on your PC and what you like. We are now going to begin setting up the scene. This includes the lights, rendered image, and other factors. I'll stop the yapping now and just show you how you can set up the scene. If you want, as I said earlier, you can copy or just straight up use my file in the description. This is now all based on preference. Skip to 3 minutes 25 seconds to skip this part. As you can see, the text is editable. You do need to be in edit mode to change this though. Press Tab or change modes in the top left. Now we can begin the texturing. You likely don't need to do this if you're doing everything in Photoshop anyways. However, if you do want to change the material anyways, then feel free to. Here I am also adding an environment texture to add some different lighting. This is not needed either, but if you want to do it, then feel free to. You can get free XR files up to 8K quality on Polyhaven website. Not sponsored. We are now starting the text. First, import your rendered image to Photoshop or Photopea. I have created a backup of the image and converted the copy to a rasterized layer. Now, we can use Perspective Warp to give the text more of an angle and illusion of high FOV. I also skew the text to make it lean slightly to the right. You can continue to warp the text to make sure it's positioned like you want. You can then simply, if you textured it correctly, use Magic Wand tool to create a 2D layer, like I'm doing here. With this new 2D layer, you can add layer styles and other effects to your text. Here we are going to add a gradient and a simple layer style to make this text quite more nicer. I am now making final finishes to make sure the colors are how I want. You only need to do this really if you have differently sized lettering or other issues. After recoloring the 3D layer, I merge the layers, and we are now starting to create /edit the 3D part of the layer. You can also add shadows if needed. I will speed up this part, as it's not as important. Now we are going to create a copy of the 2D layer with fill at 0% so we can begin our layer style. We're going to start with an inner glow. Set this to color dodge. Edit the size and opacity to match your color, brightness, and other things. We can also add bevel to give our text more depth. Depending on if we want a cartoony or realistic look, the profiles we use will be different. An inner shadow can also make the bevel look slightly nicer and add a 3D look. Boom. Okay, we can now get to some more stuff for the 3D. I personally would add an inner shadow to add some glow. This is also more controllable than inner glow in my opinion. Now after some final adjustments, we will now have a nice looking text ready for use in most styles.